Hi, I am here because I wanted to talk through with you or for you an example of a former student's case study interview questions that he came up with and feedback that I gave him on his interview questions. The key when you write these questions is that you want to write them in such a way that they are open-ended, that they are yes or no questions, or they are not yes or no questions. They are questions that when you ask them, it gives a person the opportunity to elaborate and share their thinking. So you don't want to ask questions that is just yes or no. Those are considered closed questions, and you want questions that are open. So you want them to be framed more like how or why or what, and asking them to elaborate on what they're saying. So with that said, I wanted to take a look at these example questions and kind of talk you through how I viewed the questions and how I might reframe some of them. So the first question says, think back to when you were little. What is your first memory of reading? So I like this question because it allows the person who's answering to kind of explain, to provide their perspective. So that's an open question. Do you enjoy reading? Why? So this is, while do you enjoy reading is a closed question, yes or no. Why is open. However, I might think about rephrasing this to make it a little bit more specific, I guess. So because I would say that we all enjoy reading, and it just depends on what the context is, right? In certain capacities. So maybe we like reading Twitter on our phone, but we don't like reading a novel. So here I might think about rewriting it to instead say what types, instead of just assuming that everybody likes some sort of reading, and just so instead saying like what types of reading do you enjoy. So that kind of reframes the question. um, yeah. Okay, next question. Is reading encouraged in your family? Trips to the library, book clubs, newspapers, magazines. Again, kind of like this one, I would think about this, reframing this question, um, to think about, okay, let's just assume that everybody reads in some capacity. Everybody has literacy that they use. So maybe we could say instead, like, what kinds of reading do people in your family enjoy or encourage? So you see how you're taking it from this perspective, which is kind of limited the type of reading that is being valued, to reframing it here to just assuming that everybody uses different kinds of reading. It's just how they use it. Okay, what was your favorite book or series when you were younger? Yeah, that's a good question. It starts with what. So it's an open question that the person can think about and respond to. Did you ever take part in a summer reading club when you were in grade school? So this is a yes or no question. So maybe we could think about how we could rephrase it or add on a chance for the person to elaborate. So, um, like maybe what were some important would have been some important reading experiences you've had, something like that. Do you read for fun, to learn about what interests you? This is a yes or no question. So I would think about how can I rephrase this so it's more open. So thinking about, do you read for fun? Like, what do you read for fun? How do you learn more about what interests you? When do you think you transitioned from learning to read to reading to learn? So this isn't a good question. This is something I think that we might want to learn about. But the thing about this is that you probably would need to explain it to the person, because you all know what this means because you've learned about in class, but people who haven't probably don't know what it means learning to read versus reading to learn. So you'd probably need to explain these concepts to them if you want to ask that question. What types of literature do you read now? Okay, good. How do you think reading has changed since you were younger? This was something particular to this person who's asking the question, something they wanted to know. Where do you see reading 20